The stars shone cold and distant over the planet known as Earth, a small blue dot in a galaxy full of wonders. And yet, it held a secret that the universe did not take seriously. They called it Earth's prototype, a creation meant to show the true power of humanity, but to the alien civilizations watching from afar, it was weak, fragile, and laughable. In a dark corner of the galaxy, the alien vampire struggled to stay alive, its body frail, its eyes dimming like dying embers, and no one dared to help, for fear or scorn. "They think we are weak," one alien said, pointing at the glowing human city below. "Look at their technology, their weapons there are nothing compared to us." And the others laughed, a harsh, cold sound that made the night even darker. The vampire lay in silence, knowing its strength was failing fast, its centuries of power slipping away, and if it died, no one in this galaxy would even notice. But on Earth, one human watched quietly from the city's edge, hidden among the shadows, sensing the danger, feeling something strange pull at their heart, a curiosity, a courage that even the aliens did not understand. The human knew the stories, had heard the whispers of the alien vampire, of being feared across stars. Yet they saw something others did not, a creature in need, and perhaps a chance to show the universe what humanity could do. Meanwhile, alien scholars mocked the human cities, comparing them to giant anthills, calling the humans fragile, laughable, and foolish, unaware that these fragile beings had a spark that no alien could measure. The vampire coughed weakly, its body trembling, a pale light fading from its veins, and every passing second seemed to pull it closer to death. And still, the aliens continued their laughter, mocking Earth's attempt at strength. The human took a step forward, heart pounding, knowing this was dangerous, that the aliens would not allow interference, but something inside demanded action. A force that humans had never tested before. Could a human's blood save an alien vampire? The question hung in the air, heavy, impossible, and yet hope glimmered in the human's eyes, small but unbroken. The wind carried whispers from the vampire, faint but desperate, a plea that only a human could hear. "I am fading. If I die here, no one will remember me. Please." Fear twisted in the human's stomach, but it was quickly replaced by determination, and they realized this was more than saving one being. This was Earth's chance to prove itself, to show the galaxy that humans were not weak. The alien council laughed harder, mocking, predicting failure, and even some humans nearby doubted, whispering that this was impossible, dangerous, foolish. Yet the human stepped closer, ignoring the warnings. The vampire's eyes flickered, a shadow of hope passing over its pale face, and for the first time in centuries, it felt a strange warmth, a human warmth, reaching into the void, a connection no alien had ever imagined. Time slowed, stars seemed to hold their breath, and the galaxy watched silently. As the human took the final step forward, ready to challenge the universe's mockery, ready to defy the impossible. The night trembled with tension, the aliens paused, the vampire's life hung by a thread, and everything rested on a human heart. A single act that could change the way the galaxy saw Earth forever. And as the first drop of human blood touched the vampire's lips, a faint light began to return to its eyes, a fragile spark, but enough to make the universe reconsider. The laughter of the aliens faltered, confusion spreading among them, and, somewhere deep inside, the vampire felt a strength it had not known in centuries, the impossible beginning to unfold. Earth's prototype, once mocked, was showing its true power, not through machines, not through weapons, but through the courage and sacrifice of one human, and the galaxy was watching, silently, wondering what would come next. The first drop of human blood had barely touched the alien vampire's lips when its body shivered violently, a mixture of pain and relief spreading through its fading veins. The aliens around them gasped, their laughter replaced by stunned silence, their eyes wide with disbelief, for no one had ever imagined a human could even approach such a being, let alone help it. The humans stepped back slightly, heart pounding, sweat on their brow, knowing that this was only the beginning, that the vampire was still weak, and the aliens were watching every move with suspicion. "This is impossible," one alien hissed, its voice trembling. "How can a human affect a vampire? They are too small, too weak." But even as it spoke, the vampire's body began to glow faintly, color returning to its pale skin. The human's courage grew with each second, a quiet fire burning inside them. and they realized that the universe had never seen humans act like this, humans who risked themselves not for glory, but for compassion. The vampire opened its eyes slowly, revealing irises like liquid night, deep and endless. Yet a flicker of recognition passed across its gaze as it looked at the human. "You dare to save me," it whispered, voice weak, but trembling with life. The alien council murmured among themselves, their confusion turning into anger. "Stop them, they cannot interfere. This is against the laws of our galaxy," they shouted, pointing beams of energy. But the human moved with speed and courage they had not expected, dodging each attack with careful precision. Despite the danger, the human continued, offering more blood, a ritual simple in its form but powerful in effect. And with each drop, the vampire's strength returned a little more, its limbs growing steady, its breathing deeper. One of the aliens stepped forward, fury in its eyes. "You are fools. You cannot save this creature. You will bring ruin to yourselves and to your planet." But the human did not retreat, their resolve stronger than any fear. As the vampire's body slowly strengthened, a strange bond formed between them and the human, something no alien could understand, a connection that went beyond species, beyond logic, into something primal and undeniable. The alien critics realized that their mockery had failed, that Earth's prototype was not just a machine, not just a weak species, but a force they had never considered. Courage, combined with ingenuity. The human spirit itself. The vampire coughed, shaking, but it was alive, stronger than before. And for a moment, the galaxy held its breath, watching a human stand alone against centuries of prejudice and power. "Why? Why do you help me?" the vampire asked, voice gaining strength, eyes searching. "No one has ever dared." The human smiled faintly, tired but determined. "Because you deserve to live. And maybe the universe needs to see that we are not as weak as you think," the aliens muttered angrily, plotting their next move. But the human and the vampire had formed a fragile alliance, one built not on fear or domination, but on trust and courage. Outside, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as if the universe itself noticed the shift, and even among the mocking aliens, whispers of uncertainty spread. Perhaps we underestimated them. But the danger was far from over, the vampire still weak, the aliens still hostile, and the human knew that their choice had only started a chain of events that could either save or destroy them all. As the human offered the final drop of blood for the moment, the vampire's eyes glowed fully, its energy returning in bursts, and a new tension filled the air, one that promised both hope and peril. Earth's prototype was no longer just a joke to the galaxy. It was a challenge, a spark of something unpredictable, and everyone watching knew that the next moments would decide if humanity would rise or fall. The human took a deep breath, standing tall despite exhaustion, ready to face whatever the aliens would throw next, knowing that courage alone might be the only weapon strong enough to survive what was coming. The vampire's eyes now glowed with a strange light, stronger than they had been in centuries, but its body still trembled, a reminder of the danger it had faced. The aliens whispered furiously among themselves, anger and disbelief twisting their faces. "How can a human have this power? This is impossible," one hissed, but no one dared approach. Fearing the strange bond forming between human and vampire, the humans stepped forward, calm but firm, blood still glowing faintly on their hands, and said, "I won't stop. I will help you, no matter what." Their voice steady, carrying courage that echoed across the alien assembly. The vampire's lips curved into a faint, tired smile. "Then, we survived together," it whispered, its voice stronger now, filled with both gratitude and a spark of ancient power. The aliens tried to intervene, firing energy blasts that cracked the ground and sent sparks into the night. But the human moved quickly, dodging each strike with surprising skill, their small size hiding a quickness the aliens could not predict. As the vampire rose slowly, testing its renewed strengths, the human noticed something strange. The alien council's confidence was fading, their attacks less precise, their control slipping, as if the bond between human and vampire disturbed the very rules of the galaxy. The human reached out again, offering more blood, and this time, the vampire's transformation began in full, its body glowing with life, veins shining with strength, its power returning in ways even the aliens could not measure. "Impossible," one alien muttered, its voice cracking. "They are rewriting the rules, our dominance, everything." The human smiled faintly, though tired, knowing that their bravery was starting to shift the balance, showing the galaxy that humans were not fragile. That Earth's prototype had a strength beyond machines and weapons. The vampire took its first full step, its long limbs steady, energy flowing like a river, and for the first time in centuries, it felt alive and free, but also connected to the human who had risked everything, defying the alien council. One alien finally lunged, attempting to strike the human with a glowing spear, but the vampire moved first, faster than the eye could follow, blocking the attack, sending the alien stumbling back, stunned. The other aliens watched in horror as the human and vampire worked together, seamlessly, a team that no one could have imagined. Humans and vampires united against centuries of prejudice and scorn. The human knew that this was the turning point, that the galaxy's opinion of Earth was about to change, and yet, danger was not gone. There were more aliens, more power, and perhaps even greater enemies waiting beyond the stars. "Stay close," the vampire said, its voice deep and commanding now. "They will not give up so easily, but with you, I can survive. And more than that, we can show them what Earth truly is." The human nodded, determination burning in their eyes. "Then, let them watch. Let them see that humans are not weak. Let them see the truth." Energy crackled in the air as the alien council realized that their laughter had failed. Their mockery turned into fear, and the bond between human and vampire had become a force even they could not control. For the first time, Earth's prototype was not mocked, it was feared, respected, and alive, a living proof that courage, sacrifice, and ingenuity could overcome even the most powerful enemies. And as the stars watched silently, the human and vampire prepared for the next wave of danger, knowing that the battle was far from over, but also knowing that the impossible had already begun. The alien council's anger had reached its peak, their pale faces twisted with fury, and they moved as one, unleashing a storm of energy weapons toward the human and the vampire. The human's heart pounded as the first blasts struck the ground nearby, sending dust and sparks into the air, but they did not run, their eyes fixed on the vampire, who now stood fully restored and glowing with renewed power. "Hold on," the vampire shouted, its voice strong, echoing across the battlefield. "I will protect you, but we must fight together." The human nodded, gripping their weapon tightly, a simple human device, but one powered by ingenuity, courage, and quick thinking. Something no alien technology could match completely. The first wave of alien soldiers attacked with sharp precision, aiming to overwhelm them, but the vampire moved like lightning, blocking strikes and throwing enemies aside with supernatural strength. The human ran beside it, dodging, countering, and sometimes striking with clever tricks, using speed and strategy. And for every alien that fell, another stepped forward, relentless and furious. Energy crackled across the battlefield, lights flashing in the night sky, and the humans watching from afar could hardly believe what was happening. Earth's prototype was alive, defiant, and fighting against the most powerful alien council. In the galaxy, one of the alien leaders, taller and stronger than the rest, flew forward, aiming a glowing spear directly at the human, and for a moment, it seemed hopeless. But the vampire leaped, faster than anyone could follow, intercepting the attack, and in that instant, the human realized that their bond was more than just life-saving. It was a force that amplified courage, strength, and strategy. The alien leader roared in frustration as the vampire pushed it back, and energies scattering around them, and the other aliens hesitated, realizing that their superior numbers might not be enough to defeat this strange human-vampire alliance. "Earth's prototype is alive," one alien whispered, fear creeping into their voice. "They are not what we expected." The human felt a surge of hope and fear at the same time, knowing that victory was possible. But the aliens were still powerful, smarter, and more dangerous than anything Earth had faced before. The vampire landed beside the human, its glowing eyes meeting theirs. "Together, we can show them," it said, a smile faint but fierce across its pale face. "Show them what humans can do when they refuse to back down." The human nodded, feeling a strange energy course through their veins, a connection to the vampire that gave them confidence, courage, and strength beyond normal human limits. The battle raged on, blasts striking, ground shaking, the air thick with tension, and for the first time, the galaxy could see a true human spirit's maul underestimated, yet unyielding, and capable of turning the tide of impossible odds. Some of the aliens began to retreat, shaken by what they were witnessing, while others continued, desperate, furious, unwilling to admit that humans could rise above mockery and fear. The vampire roared, a sound that echoed across the stars, throwing back enemies with immense power, while the human moved with intelligence and skill, exploiting every opening the vampire created. By the end of the confrontation, both human and vampire stood, side by side, breathing heavily, wounded but victorious for now, the alien council shocked and silent, their arrogance shattered. The human looked at the vampire, exhausted but proud. "We did it. For now," they said, knowing that the fight was far from over. The vampire nodded, strength and respect shining in its eyes. "Yes, but this is just the beginning. They will not forget us, and neither should we." And as the stars above watched silently, a new chapter of Earth's prototype began, one of courage, power, and the undeniable truth that humans were far stronger than anyone had believed. The battlefield was quiet now, the air still heavy with smoke and the glow of fading energy. The vampire stood tall, fully restored, its pale skin glowing faintly, eyes sharp and alive, a strength returning that no alien could ignore. The human stood beside it, exhausted, bruised, but smiling faintly, knowing that together they had faced the impossible and survived. The alien council hovered silently, their arrogance shattered, their whispers filled with fear and respect. "Earth is not weak," one finally admitted. "They are something else entirely." The vampire looked at the human, gratitude shining in its eyes. "You saved me," it said softly, "not just with your blood, but with your courage, your spirit. I will never forget this." The human shook their head, tired but proud. "We saved each other, and maybe Earth, too. They underestimated us. And now, they have learned, across the galaxy." Whispers spread quickly, stories of a human who dared to save an alien vampire, of Earth's prototype showing power that no one had expected. For the first time, humans were not just small creatures on a weak planet. They were respected, feared, and seen as unpredictable, capable of courage and ingenuity that could change the course of entire civilizations. The vampire stepped closer to the human, placing a pale hand gently on their shoulder. "This is only the beginning. Other threats will come, and you must be ready. Together we can face them." The human nodded, determination in their eyes, knowing that the universe had opened a door to challenges far greater than this one, but also realizing that courage, sacrifice, and trust could overcome even the darkest dangers. Far above, the stars seemed brighter, as if acknowledging the bond that had formed. The victory earned not by weapons or fear, but by the heart and will of one human, and the gratitude of an ancient being. Some aliens quietly retreated, humbled and wary, while others plodded in silence, unwilling to forget the lesson they had just learned. And Earth's name spread further, from whispers to warnings, across systems far and near. The human took a deep breath, looking at the city below, glowing softly in the night. "Earth is ready, and so are we," they whispered, a promise to the galaxy and to themselves. The vampire's eyes glowed faintly, a mixture of warning and hope. "The universe is vast, and there are dangers we cannot yet see, but we will face them together." And as the first light of dawn touched Earth's horizon, a new chapter began, one filled with courage, possibility, and the undeniable truth that humans were no longer weak. The stars waited silently, as if watching, waiting to see what this small, underestimated species would do next. And somewhere far in the galaxy, new eyes turned toward Earth, curious, cautious, and perhaps a little afraid. Earth's prototype had survived. The vampire had been saved, and humanity had proven itself one act of courage at a time. And though the night had ended, the adventure was far from over, for the galaxy was watching. And the next challenge was already on the horizon, waiting for the human who dared to defy the impossible.